We started our first business at the age of 18. We basically started by making little bits of wooden things that we used to sell at agricultural shows, because my first husband was a farmer's son. So somebody had bought him a sort of poker set one Christmas that you burnt on wood, and he was quite good at sort of designing simple things and art. So we started off doing that. When we set fire to the hay loft, his dad made us move out of the workshop on the farm, and we moved into our first workshop. Things took off very rapidly. By the time we were in our mid-20s, we had 30 staff, and we then, by that stage, were manufacturing larger pieces of furniture, and we'd moved into shop fitting and things like that. In the 80s, we were affected by the recession massively. We lost one of our biggest customers, and the shop fitting side went dead. And we actually got into a complete and utter mess. And the reason that we got into a complete and utter mess was, although we had a very good product that we were selling, we really didn't understand the basics of running a business. So we came very, very close to losing our house and everything. And really, basically, it took us about 7 years to climb out of that hole. We never folded, we never dreamed of walking away from the business. We were determined that we were going to make it a success. But during those 7 years, I absolutely learned my business craft, which was really, really learning the basics of business finance, how you market a business, how you get the right staff, how you build teams, how you communicate, all those kind of things. And that's why I decided when I got older that that's what I really wanted to do. I really wanted to build my own business, which was all about making sure other businesses succeed. So, oh dear, that didn't work. Right. So we've done the what do you think? You've written down your answers. I truly believe when I'm doing this presentation to a mixed group or to men, the slides actually have some different things on. Because actually men have very different reasons for setting up in business. Women usually set up in business because the main reason they set up in business is because they want to make a difference. They either want to make a difference in their own lives but usually to other people. So it's a huge part of women's businesses being able to make a difference. And the main reason that they set up in business isn't usually because they want to make loads of money or they want to set up a business and sell it in 5 years' time. One of the main reasons a woman will set up in business is because she absolutely loves what she's doing in that business. Now, and I'm not going to stand here and do men bashing or anything like that, but we do have to consider different things when we're women in business, and we do have to do a lot of serious juggling. So it's going to be difficult. It's very, very difficult. It's hard. It's frightening. And if you don't absolutely love what it is that you're doing, then you're not going to get out of bed every morning and do it. When the going gets tough, you're going to back off. So I really, truly believe that the first and most important thing and the first rung on your ladder should be that you absolutely love what you're doing. However, it doesn't matter what stage of your business that you're at. Even if you haven't even started yet, this is definitely the second most important thing. You cannot build or run a business unless you've got a viable business plan. And I think that if you're going to get somebody to help you with your business, which is very important, the first thing that you should always be doing is making sure that that person is capable of helping you to build a sustainable plan. So whatever it is you're doing in life, you're planning a wedding, you're planning a party, you're planning your education, you've got to plan, otherwise you're not going to know where you're heading. And that was one of the things we really learned. We never had a proper business plan that was all written out with forecasts and things like that. And we learned very quickly when we got in a mess that we had to have a plan. It can be adaptable, you've got to be able to move with it and change direction, but you've got to have something that is written down so you know where you're going, and also everybody that's in your business team, and that could be people from outside like your accountants and your solicitors and business advisors, they need to be aware of what's in your business plan. When you've got your business plan in place, if it's a properly constructed business plan, you should also, as part of that business plan, have been looking at least your next year's financial requirements, but possibly 3 years worth. So you should be saying, I've built a business plan, I'm going to be turning over this amount of sales, I'm going to have these costs, and therefore I'm going to actually need this much finance. You cannot build a rapidly growing business unless you've got financial investment. You can build a slowly growing business that just grows organically, or a business that stays fairly small and that you want to run with very few overheads, a home-based business, for example. You can build a business like that using just a little bit of your own capital. But if you really want to build a business that's going to fly, you are going to have to access finance. So you're going to have to either approach other people that you know that can lend you money, or you're going to have to go down a traditional route of bank borrowing, or you're going to have to look and see if there's any grants or any other types of business finance out there. A lot of the businesses that grow very rapidly aren't precious about keeping the whole of the business to themselves. And they're actually quite happy to say, if somebody comes along that's prepared to invest in my money, in my business, with either money or money and expertise, then I will give up some of the shares in my business. And that's a great way to grow a big business. If you want to grow a large business, you often have to be prepared to give up some of it, and then you can have a portion of a big pie rather than the whole of a small pie. It's also extremely important that from day one you actually understand the basics of business finance, so you understand how to work out whether you're making money, and not just whether you're making money overall, but where in your business you're making money, because where in your business you're making money helps you to decide in which direction you should be taking your business. So you might be making 3 very different products, and overall it looks like you're doing very well, thank you very much, you're making £50,000 a year. But you might be making £100,000 a year on one product and actually losing loads of money on another one. So very quickly you need to learn, or you need to work with somebody who can work out those kind of things in your business. So get yourself a decent accountant and a decent bookkeeper from day one, and make sure you, as the owner of the business, can read those financial reports and understand them. Support. Women are great at supporting each other, we really are. We're great at sharing experiences, connecting people with other people that may be able to help. But we also need expert support when we're building business. So if you know anybody at all that's built a business, or you know anybody at all who's in a business support type of business, just ask them. They can only say no. Get whatever you can free of charge from the people around you, but also please, if you are thinking of building a business that's going to grow quite rapidly, find out what there is out there to support you, to make sure that you learn about the things that you need to know about. So one of the people to contact around here is Regenerate Pennine Lancs, because Regenerate Pennine Lancs have all sorts of things available for businesses that are serious about growing. Also there's organisations like the Chamber of Commerce. They can help you with training, with networking, with pointing you in the right direction. Very, very useful if you're going to have a business that imports or exports. So look out for these groups and organisations as well as individuals that can help you to build your business. Building the right team is absolutely crucial, and it's really crucial to get the right people in place at the beginning. When you set up in business, it's quite likely that you will fall into one of 2 or 3 categories. You will either be pretty good at finance and detail and pick up figures quite easily, or you will be pretty good at selling and you'll be great with people and you'll be great. It's quite rare to have somebody who's actually really good with figures and really good with people and selling. I'm one of them, but it's quite rare. So what you need to make sure when you set up your business is you get these 3 key people in place. So you need somebody that understands finance, somebody that's good with sales, and somebody that really understands your product. You may find people that are good at 2 of those things, but it's unlikely that you'll find somebody that's good at all 3. But those are your 3 cornerstones for building that business. Okay. And then, as you start to build your team, you need to be ensuring that you train all the way through. There's never too much market research. So you really need, when you start your business and you're growing your business, all the time you need to be researching what the competitors are doing. You need to be talking to your customers all the time about what you're doing. Are you doing it right? Is there anything they'd like done differently? What is it they're trying to source that they can't get hold of? The more that you know your customers, the more you'll be able to sell to them and the more they'll recommend you. But really there's an awful lot of research that needs to be going on when you're selling, and you really need to understand your markets and your customers. So get help on that side of your business as well. And step 7 is that you've always got to be ready to change. Businesses never stand still. You either go backwards or forwards. And everything around you will be changing. So we've got things changing on the political landscape, we've got things changing in the law, we've got things changing in the climate, we've got things changing all the time, and your business has to be ready to respond to those changes. You'll also have changes in your own personal life that you've got to adapt to, and you've got to be ready to change. The great thing about business, and especially small businesses and medium-sized businesses, is that they can adapt and change very quickly, and that can give you a real competitive edge if you're comparing yourself to some of the bigger organisations where it takes much longer to get ideas agreed upon and things moving. So in a small business you've got a really great advantage there, but you have to always be ready to change. And you have to be adaptable, and if something happens, you've got to stop right there and think, how do we work this out? How do we move our business so that it responds to this? And that's all about innovation. So innovation isn't all about research and design and inventing the next, medical breakthrough. Innovation is just always about being adaptable and ready to change. So, how many people had more than 4 of those things on their ladder? Oh! How many people had more than 5? Oh, right then, okay. So well done to those 2. Did anybody want to share with me some of the other things that they had on their ladder?
We had hardworking.
Hardworking, yeah.
Passion and commitments.
Yes, passion and commitments. I think that fits in with the enjoyment side of it as well. Yeah, brilliant. Okay.
Creativity.
Pardon?
Creativity.
That fits with your innovation. Yeah, brilliant. Just a couple of things before I leave you to get on with the rest of the networking. I am, as was mentioned, the president of the Chamber of Commerce. There's only ever been one female president before, and unfortunately she had to step down after about 3 or 4 months through ill health. But it's great to be in that role. The Chamber for many years was seen as an organisation of grey-suited, grey-haired businessmen. I'm pleased to say that I think the majority of the staff at the East Lancashire Chamber are female. It's a great chamber. We run lots of very good networking sessions. and we provide all sorts of training, a lot of which is free. So please have a look at what the Chamber does. We have women's networking, which is called Unique, so it might be nice for you, some of you, to come along to that as well as this network. And we'll try and get some of those ladies to come along to your network as well. But the other thing that I've just joined is I've just joined Winning Pitch, and I'm running their Growth Accelerator programme in East Lancashire. So if you have the ambition to really grow your business, and you've got a business and you think that you're going to sort of double in size over the next 2 to 3 years, or you're a fairly new business and you're actually aiming to get to about $750,000 in 2 to 3 years, then you need to be coming and speaking to me, because we can put expert help into your business to help you get there. There's lots of other things available in East Lancashire. Everybody wants to grow a business, and there are other initiatives. There's one called Leap. There's Guardian Angels that can help you. And so please, if any of you would like any advice at all about where to go to get business support, just pick up one of my cards. But I have got some information about Growth Accelerator as well, if anybody wants to take that away with them. What I will say is I've had an incredible business life. I've had an incredible life bringing up 4 kids. Still got one little girl at home who's 14, and love coming and talking at things like this. And if ever you want me to come back and talk a bit more about what I've actually done building businesses and things like that, just please let me know, because I'm very happy to come back. Okay?
Thank you.